And as Russian forces edge closer to Kiev, Ukrainians are reportedly resisting Russia's advance throughout the country, even in Russian-controlled territory. The UK Defense Ministry reports that residents have demonstrated against the Russian occupation in cities in southeastern Ukraine. Let's bring in ABC News contributor Colonel Steve Ganyard for more. Colonel, the UK military says that Russia is trying to consolidate political control by installing its own mayor in Melitopol and potentially staging a referendum to declare Kherson a breakaway republic, like the other separatist-controlled regions already in the country. So is this all part of the Russian playbook?
It is, Diane. Just as you referred to in what they did in the Donbass and the breakaway regions in the Donbass in 2014 and in Crimea. So they come in, take over the town city hall, install their own puppet government, and away they go. And they say, okay, we're now in charge. So very much the playbook that we've seen in the past in other parts of Ukraine. The difference here is that in the Donbass, there was actually significant support for Russia. And so the people in the Donbass and those regions, those separatist regions, actually supported the Russian government. Here, they don't. And so the farther west that the Russians push, the less popular support and the less likelihood that they'll be able to put these puppet governments in place.
Now, President Zelenskyy says that talks with Russia yesterday went, quote, pretty good. So what are you watching for as those negotiations resume today?
Yeah, we only know one side. We know that Zelenskyy has continued to moderate some of his views. He's come off of pushing for NATO representation or NATO membership. We know that he's talking less about being part of the EU, but we really don't know what the Russians are asking for. So if things are going well, we understand maybe what the Ukrainians would be giving. They could give up the Donbass. They could give up Crimea. They could say that, well, we won't play footsie with the EU anymore, and we won't ask for NATO admittance. But that may not be enough for Putin. He talks about the demilitarization of Ukraine. We still don't know what that means. It's an open-ended phrase that really allows them to do whatever they want in Ukraine. So a lot of things that we don't know, but as long as they're talking, that's about the only thing we can hang our hat on.
Now, the U.S. is warning China not to invade Russia's, not to aid, rather, Russia's invasion. What's the biggest concern there, and what does it tell you that the U.S. says that Russia asked for help in the first place?
Well, it's quite remarkable, first of all, if the third largest military in the world is asking the second largest military in the world for military help. The Russians maybe have seemed 12 feet tall in the past, but certainly they're not performing up to that standard. And the fact that they have to ask the Chinese for some sort of assistance, there's rumors that they have been asking for drones. But on the other hand, the economic assistance is a little more understandable given the sanctions that Russia's under. So China has a decision to make here. They can come in, and Xi Jinping can be the hero, can be the peacemaker. He can add on to his international glories after a successful Olympics. But how China reacts to this and whether the Chinese actually do aid them, either economically or militarily, is going to be a big determinant about what the world looks like on the other side of this conflict.
All right. And the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine told ABC News Prime anchor Lindsay Davis that there's no path to victory for Russia at this point and that Ukrainians are never going to turn back to Russia. What do you think?
I agree. There's no path to victory. There's no way that Russia will be able to achieve its political goals in Ukraine. Conversely, the Ukrainians do not have the military might to kick the Russians out of Ukraine. And so this is why, hopefully, we're moving towards some sort of negotiated settlement. Right now, the conditions on the battlefield are not what Putin would expect or what he wants. So he's going to continue to shell and try to make gains on the battlefield as a way to gain better negotiating leverage at the negotiating table. But we'll see how all this plays out over time. But both sides are going to have to come to some sort of a compromise.
All right, Colonel Steve Ganyard, we always appreciate your analysis. Thank you.
Thanks, Diane.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.